So this video is super late because I was actually training for the primary election, or the general election in November, and the primaries that are coming up in June. I had to do like a background check. I had to get my fingerprints taken. I also had to take a language test because I'm like a bilingual helper. I get paid more for that, so that's cool. The last time I did this was the 2020 election in November, and I talked about that briefly on the 1-year anniversary of January 6th, which you can watch somewhere up here. I'm really proud of the work I did, both at the election and on the video. I'm hoping to do the same thing again this year because, you know, democracy just works better the more people who have a voice in government, even the people who don't agree with me. And I understand that some of them have a lot of concerns about security in the upcoming election, and I'm hoping I can put some of those to rest here. So, first of all, the only things that are connected to the internet are, well, actually it's more of an intranet. It's these things called e-poll books. They're iPads with this kind of software that allows them to talk to other e-poll books in the same county. So it lets us check people in who are registered to vote in that county. So once someone is voted and we check them in, it sends a signal to the other e-poll books that this person has voted. There is no other network that this iPad connects to. Like I couldn't browse like Reddit or Tumblr or Discord on it, which is good because otherwise I would have spent the entirety of training like just doing that. Anyways, the point is, some random person with an internet connection cannot hack into these e-poll books and like make everybody vote for a certain candidate, because that's not what these e-poll books do. They just register voters, and they're also not connected to the internet as a whole. There are laptops, but they are also not connected to the internet. They come equipped with everything they're ever going to need to access for the 11 or 4 days that the vote center is open. And they are the ballots for the districts in the county. So there's one laptop that directly prints out paper ballots for people who want to vote with paper. And it keeps a log of how many ballots it's printed. And I'm not sure if we're gonna have to do it again this year, but last time I did this, we had to count every sheet of paper in the printer at the beginning and the end of every day to make sure it matched what the computer said. And there's a different laptop that it can load a district ballot onto like a little, it's kind of like a credit card. It'll load the ballot for the person's district so they can vote electronically. And the electronic voting device is also not connected to any kind of outside network. It's connected to, it's plugged into a printer, a pair of headphones, and a handheld device, so that people who are hearing or who are visually impaired can still like hear the ballot and still vote with the little handheld device, even though they can't see. And when anyone is done voting, the printer will print out like kind of like a ballot receipt. It lists everything that it recorded your vote for, and if something is wrong, you can like redo the vote. You know, like everything, even the electronic voting will have some kind of hard copy for you to see, for you to submit into the Dominion machine, like so that everything will have a paper trail. And actually, speaking of the Dominion machine, after you insert either your paper ballot or your electronic ballot, it takes a picture so you can see it on the display screen next to it what you voted for. I mean, sometimes it'll have like an error message if you didn't properly mark something. Like if you put a dot instead of filling in the whole bubble, it'll say like, we don't know if you wanted to vote for this thing. And then you can return your ballot. I don't know every kind of mark that counts as an ambiguous mark. Actually, whether you have an ambiguous mark or not, you can always return your ballot if you notice that something is wrong on it. I mean, you can't do this an infinite number of times. Like, I think the limit is 3 ballots, but you can check after you're finished voting, and afterwards, all this machine records is just a picture of the front and the back of the ballot. That's it. There's no like individual information about like the people who voted. All of that is recorded at the e-poll book. Everything else is not specific to any individual person. Like, there's no way to hack into this machine. It's not connected to any kind of network. It does count the number of ballots that were submitted into it. But that and the picture of the ballot is all the information it records. Like, people who think they can just go in and break this machine apart have no idea how this machine actually works. But like, if there's anything I've learned the last 2 years, is that there are a lot of people like that. Like, we had an entire day dedicated to security concerns, like what to do if someone threatens you, numbers you can call. There's going to be a security guard posted at every vote center. Like, there's going to be a roped off area for the poll watchers, and every poll watcher has to register either as their name or the organization that they are like watching for, so that if they cause a disruption, they can be found very quickly. It's absolutely ridiculous that we've come to this point, but like, I'm a very obscure channel, and I still have to constantly delete comments about like, oh, the UK sent in Australian special forces to Sandy Hook to frame, I forgot his name, and also I don't care because like nobody should remember his name. He should just die in obscurity. I have to delete comments about how Russia had to invade Ukraine because Ukraine is the original Jerusalem and they had to keep it pure. I had so many comments about how the convoy was justified in trying to overthrow the fucking government. Like, I don't know where the line should be drawn between free speech and complete fucking lunacy, but it sure as hell should be further away than it is now. Anyways, that should be a topic all on its own. We should be going back to our regular upload schedule until the end of May, when the vote center opens, and I hope to see a lot of people at the vote center. And obviously not all of you, because not all of you live in California, but regardless, I hope you vote, and if you drive to the polls, remember, it's D to move forwards, R to go back. Thank you. Bye-bye.